and then we welded a pipe on it. And it was pretty solid. You have
probably
pictures.
4 pounds of steel.
Yeah, and it just eroded as we were going. Clinker would stick to it and everything, and it would erode, and you'd have to pull it out and tap it and knock all that stuff off.
What it probably lasted 2 months? 3
No,
months?
it's been longer than that. It's been longer than that. It was mid-summer. It was summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's right, that was months.
Almost 6 months.
And we've been putting a few hours on this. It's not like it doesn't get used. So, with the fire maintenance though, this is what is clinker. Anybody that doesn't know what clinker is, this is clinker. This plugs the top of that tweer up. And I'll put that back in. The easiest way to clean these out is to pull the tweer, scrape all that stuff down the hole, into your bucket, close your ash gate. Don't do it while it's hot, because when you stick your finger in there, it hurts. Just put it in there, give it a twist, and it's locked in. Now your pot's clean. This is a clinker is the first thing that plugs up a pot. Knowing the difference between it, so you can fish that out from the hot fire, is a good thing. It keeps the fire from getting contaminated. But the other thing that kills these tweers and kills your fire is this ash. This stuff is so small, it doesn't allow air to come through, and it chokes off your fire, and it holds the clinker and stuff there. You want your coal to be this size or bigger.
Excuse me.
You can, once it gets down to this size with our coal, Oklahoma coal, it doesn't have much BTU value left. You might as well scoop it out, clean it out. But if you can keep it from being ash bound, you can get a much hotter, cleaner fire with less problems of your product getting burned up. And it seems wasteful, but you're not getting anything out of it. So putting it in the bucket doesn't lose us anything. Doesn't gain you anything keeping it in the fire.
I would also like to interject a little bit on that. When you let the opening on the tweer get plugged up with clinker, the air tries to get out and it'll come around the sides of the tweer.
Yeah.
And with all the coke down around the edges, it causes the tweer to heat up incredibly hot. If it gets choked up with clinker and you look at it later, the tweer will be bright red, which will shorten its life. Whereas if the hole is open and the air is blowing through, it tends to not heat up at all. I mean, it gets hot, but it's not red hot.
It'll be a little bit if you leave a little bit of ash in the bottom.
Yeah.
Kind of helps protect the bottom of the tweer. So if you look over here, this is how it normally looks once it's been cleaned out. There is a bunch of ash in there. And you really have to dig down and create a void around that. With what Matt was saying is true. If you have a little bit of that fine ash in the very bottom, that's fine. But you have to have a bit of a gap between the top and the bottom. If you don't have anywhere for clinker to go. It just stays on top. If you forge a set like this, the clinker just goes right towards the dome. So you got to clean that fine stuff out of there, especially when you start. You have to give it someplace to go. Because when you take that poker and you run it down the side, you're feeling for that dome. You want to just roll that clinker off the top and open that hole without having to go through the hole. You don't want to have to go down to the bottom and lift that tweer up. You want to just hit the top and roll that stuff out of there. All you're trying to do is create a hole that the air can come straight up and get hot. Burn that hole. So, with that being said, I'm going to throw some green coal up here. Not everybody remembers to bank their fire and has coke to start the fire with. which is good. If you guys want to say back the coke, you know, and make sure you got some nice pieces and bank your fire right before you shut it down so you have coke. That's a good way to do it. That's the easiest way to light it. But I've been in a lot of shops, and that's normally not what happens. They get done at the end of the day, they douse the fire, and then you clean all the clinker out, and you find out you had ash and clinker left at the end of the day, no coke. So, I've been able to light fires off a great coal for a long time because that's the only way I had to light it.
So what's coke?
Okay, coke.
Is this light?
Yep.
That's distilled coal.
So that's green, and that's light, or coke. And he's right. Yeah, it's distilled. It's like charcoal versus wood.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Cook the volatiles out of it.
yeah. So the
Really light. Versus.
so the trick with green coal is it takes less air. With coke, you can give it quite a bit of air because it's already charred up, and you're looking for it to just catch. With green coal, you crank on that air and really crank on it, you'll burn up all your paper before you catch your green coal. Because you got to distill it. You got to get that smoke burning. You just got to allow the heat to build up in the charcoal. I'm just putting coal around the edges. Hold that paper down. I don't ever get in a great big hurry.
Times to hurry when you're blacksmithing. This is not one of them. That's what it is. When there's food.
I blew out my fire. Blew out my paper. A little moist.
Yeah, there's nasty ag things in there. They don't burn as well.
There we go, some fire.
If you see any clinker, pull it out. And we should start getting to the point where the off gas gets hot enough.
You want the fan on?
No, we want the heat to go up the flue. You turn it on right now, there's just not that much heat going up. It'll start sucking the air back down.
Okay.
Yeah, it caught, yeah.
Because all the doors are shut, if if the doors were open, it'd be a different deal, but with that big end gap fan, you turn it on, it's going to pull it through the two vents up front and down the chimney.
Oh, speaking of the vent, did you see the tearing
It's been torn for 9 months.
I didn't notice that. Well, it's usually the doors
The
open. I don't see it.
lawnmower did it. Yeah, about the week that they put it in.
Yeah. Matt saw that. He was thinking maybe we ought to put a piece of expanded metal in there.
We could, yeah. Yeah, but it was a lawnmower.
No.
I mean, you could see. Anyway, and slowly but surely build the fire. Now, it'd be a lot less smoky if I started with coke. A lot less. As it catches, I'm just pulling the coal from the outside edge, throwing it up over the top, getting it on top of that heat, so we can get get it distilled into the coal to the coke. Just trying to run it through that fire and get a good amount of coke in there. And I can add more air now. It's now got a stack of heat going up that chimney and it's taking the smoke with it. You can use that. Everybody who's worked with the torch knows that that burns a little hotter than propane does.